Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
All right, good evening. Welcome to the Farron Dozier Show on KCAA Radio, 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also streaming from the KCAA Radio.com website and mbradio.us. We got to bless the show before we get started. Let's go. When I was in my mother's womb, I had a calling on my life to do something in the glory of God and marry it like a wife. Commit myself to his word and never be led astray. And when it's all over, when he comes, I'll be glad to see that day in the morning time. All right, good evening. Welcome to the Farron Dozier Show on KCAA Radio, 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also streaming from the KCAA Radio.com website, the station that leaves no listener behind, and MBR Radio. That's right, Military Broadcast Radio Network. You can catch us on MBR Radio on Roku TV and all their streaming platforms as well. Plus, you can go and download the apps. Both KCAA Radio has an app and also does MBR. So make sure you catch those. And grateful for both of these platforms. KCAA is the same that leaves no listener behind, and Radio MBR Radio, they're giving veterans a voice like myself. So make sure you check out both stations. Got some great shows over there, ready to help and for you to listen to. All right, so tonight we're gonna have a sports collective segment coming up at the bottom of the hour. As you can see, right next to me is my guy Robert Lamar. And what's happening, man? You got nothing to say?
Bang bang Niner gang is what's up.
Oh my gosh, jeez.
Cowboy fans, how about them Cowboys taking another L to the Niner gang?
Oh, is it over?
Oh, it's not over yet. We're still beating the mess out of them. It's beautiful. I love it.
Man,
it's always a great day. Coach Will, check in.
Yeah, Coach Will, where you at, man? Where you at? Where you at?
Die-hard Cowboy fan.
We want to find out, where you located at, bro. I know you're on your way to the station, bro. So we waiting for you. All right. I want to touch on something real quick. I shared this with my sports collective crew. I have a grandson who is 5 years old. And this part goes to my segment, The Life of A, which is the life of a 5-year-old. And he transitioned from regular daycare to kindergarten to another daycare, a new daycare, and then another after-school program. So in this transition, we know that transition can be emotional for some people because of the change and the different, age groups and things like that. So he started saying when he went to the daycare, not the kindergarten, but the daycare class, that the kids don't like him. The children doesn't like me, he says. And so that's been going on, like I said, since he started in August, September. And so I had an opportunity to finally, sit with him because I started looking at it for myself, and I'm like, he's still saying that. They're going to different places, and he's saying, oh, are the kids gonna like me? And so something was going on, and I caught that. And so this past weekend, yesterday, he sat with me. He was over at my house, and we were hanging out. And I told him that we needed to have a talk. And he was like, okay. And so we had a conversation. So I asked him, like, what's going on with school? How's kindergarten? He's like, oh, I like it. Everything's fine. The teacher's this, blah, blah, blah. And then on his own, he said, oh, but I don't like daycare. And I'm like, okay, so what's going on at daycare? And he's like, well, they don't like me. And I said, well, why? Did they say they don't like you? He says, no, they didn't say that. I said, well, what are they doing? He says, well, when they line up to go get water, they run faster and they get in line, and he's behind. He's left behind. And so I was like, oh my goodness. Right. So I'm asking you listeners to use your imagination. If you were in that mind frame, or you may have experienced something like that, where you were left out or left behind or getting picked last. Right. So that was his language, his experience of them leaving him behind, that they don't like him. And I'm so grateful for the classes that we took. I'm so grateful for the
Man.
emotional intelligence stuff, all the courses that I've taken that I'm helping my children and my grandchildren help develop, with more of a not in a survival state of mind, but a more of a communication level, listening level. So I was able to, plant some new seeds to say that, well, what happens? What's going to happen when you become older and you become the bigger kid? What are you going to do with the little kids?
Right.
And he said, I'm going to wait for them.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh my gosh. And so what I got from that was he's caring, right? And so what I did was I did some principles on him, and I took the word courage
Mhm.
and I found it for a 5-year-old to understand. I took the word confidence for a 5-year-old level to understand, and I took caring. And so we sat and we talked, and he looked at the word caring and he sounded it out. It was so cute. And then he took the word courage and he sounded it out, and it was so cute. And then he did confidence. And I read him the definition of each one of those. And so I started saying, so who are you? He's like, I'm Aiden. I'm like, so no, but what are you? Who are you? He's like, oh, I'm confidence, courage, and caring. And so, I told him the truth. I said, hey, look, everybody's not gonna like you. Everybody's gonna want to be your friend. So I did my best to kind of interrupt that thought process so that he can regain his confidence back and his courage and realize that he is a caring person, and it's okay if they're running in line, right?
Mhm.
But it just had me think about how many children, how many of us, even as adults, still carry that weight of feeling like we don't belong, or that sense of belonging is threatened by some little gesture like that, when the kids didn't even say anything to him. They just doing what they do to get in line and get some water. But because they're faster and bigger than him, he felt like that's what it meant to him. And I'm like, no, like, so.
Right. That's interesting. The mind of a 5-year-old?
5-year-old, man.
Jeez.
So I just want to make sure that those who are listening are able to be able to understand how important that is to pay attention to your child.
Yeah.
If I could say that, pay attention to your child, because it is important for their development, and you got to listen to what they're saying to you and how their attitudes change, their behavior change. Is very important, because those could be signs of their sense of belonging and that transition. We all know it. The transition that is change is difficult for even human, for people, adults. Change is challenging. Change is difficult. So I just want y'all to understand that, how important that is for y'all who either have experienced that as a child and carrying that weight with an adult. Sometimes our mind of a child doesn't understand, doesn't have the language, and we make up stories and corrupt those thoughts, and then we live from that. And I'm like, dude, you got too much school left. You in kindergarten, bro. Like, you got way too much school left to worry about, if somebody likes you. Like, no, we can't live like that. So, but what do you have to say about that, man? Anything? You got young children too.
Well, yeah, still, yeah, you're right. It's just one of those things. I mean, that's very unique. These kids never surprise you with the stuff that they come up with. You just always expect to kind of hear something kind of crazy. And the best thing that you could have possibly did in that situation was to kind of educate himself on himself. And that was the right thing to do, because there's so much that's going on in his mind.
Yeah.
We don't know
where that could have led later.
Yeah.
Later in life.
It's just like one of those things where how you perceive things.
Yeah.
And perception is not always reality, but it is absolutely your reality. So that's when you have to really kind of educate the situation on what is what. And then you practically go from there, because like you said, if you're good with yourself, then that's really all that matters.
That's really all that matters.
For you to make sure that he kind of got to that point where he understood that he's good regardless is huge for a 5-year-old, because he'll never forget this conversation. That's a conversation that he's going to use to practically be able to grow and move forward. So, I mean, that's really important, man. I haven't had any type of situation like that, because, my kids were to the point where they felt like they had problems. They were fighting. I had some really active kids, but it's just one of those things where, you know, I'm really competitive, especially like my son. He's a competitor.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about him. My 15-year-old, she's a competitor too. You know, so you know, a lot of these kids, the thing that's dope about what he said was a lot of these kids really kind of keep it to themselves at that age.
Yeah.
So for him to be able to kind of pour that out was really big. That was really big. But that just lets you know, I think, with you probably working with him already, that he's used to being able to kind of be able to like voice his feelings.
That's the thing.
So,
and parents don't allow that for their child to respond and talk, and not, it's not that you're talking back to you, but they're expressing themselves back to you, and they need to be able to have that connection back to you as a parent. But sometimes parents, you know, it's a one-way conversation. But,
right.
And grateful my daughter has that education too, so I'm encouraging her to make sure that she reinforces all of that, because that's his mother, so he's gonna listen to her way more than he does to me if she reinforces it.
Absolutely.
So, all right, that's the life of a segment. 5-year-old right there. I have my own 5-year-old, life of a 5-year-old story. So, but we are going to play some PSAs real quick and come back. I got Sports Law, going to give him a few minutes to give us some highlights tonight. And then we're going to come back at the bottom of the hour for the Sports Collective TV Media Radio segment right here on the Farron Dozier Show. We got In the Zone with Robert Lamar, 4th Down, and we're waiting for the Heme Factor to show up. Shout us out. What's the count?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us, giving our veterans a voice.
Some of us still carry the burden of battle. It threatens to drown us in our everyday lives. In battle, we had our weapons and combat gear to keep us safe, to keep us confident. But when we returned home, we were not armed with weapons and gear to cope with our own minds. I was lucky to find my combat gear, my mental weapon, and it's called Calmago. Calmago is a drug-free device that allows you to achieve calm in less than 3 minutes in moments of anxiety, stress, anger, panic, or insomnia, not with medication, but rather by activating the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing regulation and multisensory stimulation. A recent study has shown that Calmago decreases PTSD and anxiety levels in veterans, helping those who are suffering and having a long-lasting effect. Visit Calmago.com to learn how you can get Calmago through the VA or with a special veterans discount code.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm blessed, my brother. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, did you see the game last night?
Oh, that was a good game.
But did you see the shot?
I lost money from that shot.
Oh,
too,
man, that shot was cold,
I
man.
hated it, but it was good. Damn. What's in those jeans?
You really want to know?
I do.
Exhaustion, muscle spasms, asthmatic issues, unexpected sickle cell trait crises.
Damn. Are you serious? When I was young, I found out I had sickle cell trait. My mom's told me, but I ain't have no knowledge of it. But when I got older, I had a child, and the doctor told me my daughter has sickle cell trait. You know the facts that both parents have sickle cell trait? There's a 50% chance the child may have the trait, and 25% chance the child may have the disease.
Hey, that's what's the count. Do you know that 2.5 million people in the United States have sickle cell trait, 300 million people globally? I didn't find out I had sickle cell trait until I was in the Army, 10 years. Next thing you know, I had a sickle cell trait exertion site.
Sickle cell? I thought that was a black gene or something.
Nah, man, the Latin community is number 2. 1 out of 36,000 babies are being born with sickle cell disease. You could be Caucasian, Mediterranean, European. You gotta know your bloodline, man. There is an inherited gene in our community that has been forgotten. The name is sickle cell trait. WDCONSCT, also known as What's the Count, is out to bring awareness, education, and prevention to people all over the globe. Want more information? Call us now at 323-215-5384 or visit www.wdconsct.org. All right, again, welcome back to the Farron Dozier Show on KCAA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also streaming from the KCAA Radio.com website, the States Leaves No Listener Behind, and the Military Broadcast Radio Network. Make sure you go download those apps for both stations. Yes, you can download the app for KCAA Radio, and you can also download the app for MBR as well. And catch us on Roku TV right now, plus all the other streaming platforms. And download that shows afterwards, wherever you get your podcasts. Did you listen to from Spotify, whatever, you can catch us over there too. All right, I see Sports Lock down there, but when you're ready, Sports Lock, let me see you on camera. What's going on with your squad over here, man?
We still winning. The Cowgirls wanted to score a touchdown, and that's fine. But
Cowgirls,
they're still down. So let's not get that twisted. Still Niner gang, still winning. 27, I think it's 27-17.
Sports Lock, what's happening, man?
How we doing? What's the count?
I'm down by 1, man. You good?
We good? Yeah, still 27-17. Dallas just scored. A little bit of a crazy game here. I'm a big San Fran fan, but they went 22 minutes without scoring, without a first down, Dallas.
Is that normal?
No, well, they had their road woes fixed, and then they got broke at home. And now this is a tough matchup. We've seen this game many times. I mean, used to be for all the marbles in the NFC title game. So
yeah,
it's something there.
So give us the rundown you got for tonight, man. What you got for? What's the key points of today you got?
If I'd be remiss if I didn't mention. I mean, there's plenty of elephants in the room, but that call or that non-call Thursday night's been a lot of people have been talking about it. It's obviously the most blatant thing. I think they're going to do. The NFL has to be doing something right now to get some kind of. A few people mentioned in the last week, within this weekend, have a single call that you can just won a game that you can throw, because something that egregious can't happen in the game. And I don't know if it caused the win or it didn't cause, didn't decimate, but let's just not have something like that be decided the way it was. That was pretty bad. Right. Dodgers walk off Freddie Freeman the first in a World Series. Wow, the Dodgers. But the Yankees have been the 2 teams to come back 0-2 in a World Series. So, it's never over there, and that's going to be a great finish. It should go 7, depending on what happens. 3 games in New York.
I hope it goes 7.
3 games in New York, but LA's that was an impressive 2-game homestand just to start off. And obviously if you're 2-0 in a World Series, the percentage is much better. It looks a lot better outside. Today was Tight End Sunday, or the National Tight End Day, and I don't know where they get that. Maybe it's because it's October and you're looking for a different schematic, and you got to get a win somehow. And multiple tight ends. Cade Otton, Kyle Pitts, the first time he's ever had it. Travis Kelce got his first touchdown. George Kittle tonight. Kraft, that kid for Green Bay has been looking great. So that was pretty good. But I mean, what's going to happen this year? NFC North. I'm declaring it's never happened, but that could be the first 4-team playoff conference division. So who knows? And on the bottom side, in the AFC East, the Jets and Pats are tied at the worst teams, one of the worst teams in the league.
Are you
number 8?
Are you okay over there with that?
That was a pretty good game. I mean, I saw a lot. I was starting to see a lot from the quarterback May, but I saw the play live and didn't look like he had anything bad happen, but blow to the back of the head can really change it up. He may not even had a concussion, just didn't pass the protocol. And, hey, that's fine. But Jacoby Brissett come in and mop up, and that wasn't even. That was just it come down to the last drive there. It was pretty cool to watch. But number 8 there on the Jets, he has to kind of stop pointing straight ahead and look back at the other thing. he's a lot to do with the problem. I mean, he didn't have anything to do with defense allowing the Pats to come back down there and do much. But yeah,
Right,
number
right.
8 there. He's got to stop looking at others and quit the thumb at himself.
Hey, it is the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the Bay game area tonight, they showed a lot of clips, and they mentioned the passing of a great rock and roll bassist, Phil Lesh of the Grateful Dead, passed away, and they've been to San Francisco. That's where they started. So it's been a big one. Here we go.
Is that a scarf around your neck?
Yeah, well, they were idle this week, so I just want to make sure they climb back up to number 2, and we'll see what happens. Texas, that was a big game. But anyway, Oregon, they're pretty strong. Yesterday had a lot of motion and action happening, and in the flux of a lot. This is the first year with the expanded playoffs and the first year with new conferences. So Texas is going to be in there. It's going to be a great run to pull out there, and we'll see a lot of Notre Dame. Oof, poor Navy, but Navy's having a good year. Army, they were idle, I believe. But yeah, it's going to be a good run for this playoffs.
Coach Will told me I need to go and reach out to the military teams and get some of those athletes on the show. I didn't even think about that, to interview some of my own veteran brothers and sisters in those programs.
Absolutely, and the both Army and Navy, Air Force was having a run. We haven't seen anything like this in many years. I mentioned a few years ago, but they were climbing and winning wins. But Navy, they lost an annual game that Notre Dame. I mean, it steeps back. There's a huge history there, and Notre Dame has asked Navy to be on their schedule every year if they will have it. So that game steep back. Notre Dame said their president said during World War II that the Navy team, the institution, has given them something to play for every year, and so that's why they play every year.
Jody and I were watching. We did an event yesterday in Rialto. Spoke about sickle cell trait and sickle beta thalassemia, and we ended up watching the Colorado game yesterday.
Oh, beautiful!
Pretty good game, man. It looks like he asked me what percentage were they better than last year, and I felt like they had a better running game this year. If anything, is what I noticed.
Shadur Sanders he'll be in New York for the Heisman. I'm not sure where he'll be in place for it, but he's had a great season, and he's got that big tight end. They do have a great run game going, but I mean, Deion Sanders has done what he can to turn that team around in 2 years. They've overmatched their total from last year, and they're getting a bowl game. They need really one more game to maybe get closer to New Year's. They have a shot at the title, but it's a big division. It's a big conference, and everything's all topsy-turvy this year. So
that's what Jody was saying, that he hoped they at least get to a bowl game this year.
Oh, they 6 wins. I think they should secure you at least something, mid December. But they're getting closer. With every win, they get closer to New Year's. But I mean, with the playoff, the way it happens, and if they can get that title, that would be something. But they're playing better. Deion is he's out there. He's saying, "Hey, I'm glad we can do what we can do." But he's reached out to a lot of different coaches. I know Nick Saban, his buddy. He talks. Nick Saban talks about Deion every Saturday morning. So
should be interesting.
It'll be great.
For them. Yeah,
should be great
for them.
Yep.
All right, you got anything else for us, man? Or
I think I might have Dodgers. No, I think that's pretty much it. Let me see what else I got here.
I just want the Yankees to win, man. I mean, I'm an Angels fan. I'm an Angels fan. I want anybody competing against the Dodgers, bro.
I like the Mets as a Red Sox geography. I don't like the Yankees. It was tough to see. It would have been a nice Subway series. It's been 24 years. That would be every quarter century we should get one, but maybe next year. But I mean, the Yankees, they're in a tough spot, but they have come back from this a couple of times. I did see them lose in the divisional round. The divisional round down up 3-0. That had never happened before. I was at that
man.
game.
I appreciate you for hanging out tonight. I know it's late on your end over there, man. So again, we thank you for hanging out, man.
I usually check out this late game. That's a pretty good one to me.
All right, man. I appreciate you.
Peace.
But let them know where they can find you, man. You got Sports Log, Sports Post on Facebook. Let them know where they can catch some highlights. Man. I know you're building it back up.
I'm on the X. Yeah, building it back up. I'm on Facebook as Sports Log, Sports Pulse. X is what it was. Same Sports Log, and I'm building up. What's the other one? Snapchat? No, not so much.
No, it's not so much Snapchat. No.
But then they got the Twitch, or what's the new one now?
TikTok.
Telegram.
You on TikTok?
TikTok's quick,
no,
and I can't get it off my phone. I'm like, hey, but Telegram is no. But yeah,
Periscope, they got a bunch of different ones out there, man. I'll make sure we tag you. I'll make sure we tag you in those.
I'll get my content going.
We appreciate you for hanging out with the NBC Sports with Sports Log, man. We appreciate you, man.
All right.
We'll see you. All right. Shout us out. All right. We will be right back with more of the crew. We're going to get into the Sports Collective TV media radio segment after some of these PSAs. Shout us out. What's the count?
Some of us still carry the burden of battle. It threatens to drown us in our everyday lives. In battle, we had our weapons and combat gear to keep us safe, to keep us confident. But when we returned home, we were not armed with weapons and gear to cope with our own minds. I was lucky to find my combat gear, my mental weapon, and it's called Calmago. Calmago is a drug-free device that allows you to achieve calm in less than 3 minutes, in moments of anxiety, stress, anger, panic, or insomnia, not with medication, but rather by activating the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing regulation and multisensory stimulation. A recent study has shown that Calmago decreases PTSD and anxiety levels in veterans, helping those who are suffering and having a long-lasting effect. Visit Calmago.com to learn how you can get Calmago through the VA or with a special veterans discount code.
Zetovia salve, made from natural and organic ingredients, good for inflammation, poor circulation, hemorrhoids, yeast infection, lip sores, dry coughs, eye pain, minor cuts and bruises, and ready to purchase at botanicaherbalco.com. 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 Do you remember studying sickle cell in biology class? What's the Count on Sickle Cell Trait Prevention is here to bring you awareness, education, and prevention conversations around the risk factors of this inherited gene. Visit wdconsct.org. All right, welcome back to the Farron Dozier Show and the Sports Collective TV media radio segment here. What's up, Coach?
Hey, you know what it is.
What it do?
Yeah, live, vibrant, exuberant.
Exuberant.
Yeah,
that's a new one. Yeah. What's the I gotta find a definition of exuberant. That's like extraordinary.
Right. You know, Cowboys was playing today. And, things are happening.
Y'all want to hash anything out while y'all sit here? Or we still?
No, man, we good. We still in.
It's just one of those things where I don't trust this team at all this year. We're a wounded duck, but my whole thing is I ain't even care about all that. They got to play games.
You didn't care about that?
Well, I mean, it's just like every year after the Super Bowl, the season's always a disaster. So this is nothing new. Like I said, I would like for us to be 4-4 after the first 8 games and got to win today. I mean, tonight for that to happen, shoot. I mean, I'm not really trusting Purdy right now. So, Dallas is practically, he just got sacked. Oh, cool stuff.
I got a question.
It's serious.
Have you ever trusted Purdy?
No, I was hoping to. But the Super Bowl showed me why I couldn't.
I just asked that question because he does not necessarily seem that
clutch.
Trustworthy. No, he's not even clutch. You know how? Okay,
he's not clutch.
He's not clutch. Chad Pennington post injury. Chad Pennington was a phenomenal game manager, right? And then you have
I got nothing.
Brock Purdy, Chad Pennington, Trent Dilfer, Brock Purdy, game managers. So maybe he's not Burrow. But
Oh, he's absolutely not Burrow. That's what he's not.
Hey, would you rather have Dak or Purdy?
Ooh. Dak.
That's just not even, that's
Dak.
like saying you want the cutest fat girl.
Dak or Purdy? I'm just asking.
What's wrong with a cute fat girl though?
I already been there, done that. I'm never doing that again.
So no Dak?
Been there, done that.
Does that mean no Dak?
No Dak.
Yeah, no, none of them. No, none of them, because basically you're gonna get empty calories with either one. So you're gonna lose because both of them have showed you, especially Dak. Dak has showed you that you can't trust him. Because if you could have trusted Dak, then there would have been a Super Bowl appearance at least. That's my whole thing.
Did he have time though?
Absolutely. Dak had one of the best lines in the league for a long time.
I was gonna say.
So if he could have got to the Super Bowl, this is a whole different conversation about Dak. And you see, he couldn't do that.
His time. As long as Tom, that's TB12. That's all I'm gonna say. As long as TB12 is in the game, nobody but him and Patrick Mahomes is going to see that SB.
Tom is different, and then Patrick Mahomes took his place. Really different. But the funny part is, the only dude to beat Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl was Tom.
Brock Purdy.
It was Tom.
Tom?
Tampa Bay. You remember Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay. He came back from 10 wins.
You know, and then you had CT, Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
CT. Shout out to Antonio Brown.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the year he brought in the AB. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that Tampa team was tough, but that's Brady for you. Not everybody is Brady. And then when you're looking at like all these other, thank you, Fred Warner, for not getting that interception. Jesus Christ. Man,
it's okay. Don't worry.
No, it's not okay.
It's all going to be handled. Take care of that for you.
Yeah, that based off of how this season is going, that happens.
Yes, sir.
But just looking at quarterbacks, Coach, is there any quarterback in college right now that you can say is like, you know what, I think he's going to do really, really good in the league? So any guy that's draft eligible, let's do that one.
Let's not even play with it. I'm going to go straight to Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward is one of those guys that have been in a couple of systems, right? And his walk, right, in the Division I level has allowed him to develop under multiple offensive coordinators.
Yeah, that's wild.
Right? Carry the different expectations of different levels of programs, right? So he knows an empty stadium. He knows a full stadium. He knows a high-powered offense. He knows a game-manageable offense. He understands a pro-style offense, right? And then you look at what he's doing in Miami right now, not just being an impact player, a leader, and a game changer, right? But he's being innovative with the whole right? No, truthfully, right? Don't look at the kids scoring touchdowns right now. They're all doing it, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So understand when you're talking about a guy that can lead your, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I say program, but your
offense or
your offense. No, not just your offense. Like, right, who's going to build this house, right? Like, is he going to be Baker Mayfield, Johnny Manziel type of impact off the field, right? Or in the social.
The social piece too, because the kids are already following them. You're saying,
yeah. You know what I mean? So like that's what I mean by being innovative and being a trendsetter, right? Yeah. Like that's an impact player. That's a guy that can come in now. To your question, Rob, that can come in now and lead a team. 8-9 wins.
Oh, you interesting point, because for a quarterback, multiple offensive coordinators kills quarterbacks development.
Yeah.
Like you saw what it did to Alex Smith. I mean, I call him Alice because I got to watch that stuff. Okay. And then when Jim Harbaugh came, all of a sudden this guy looked really good.
Yeah.
Like moving forward. And then he went to Andy Reid. So basically you got to take the fan aspect out of a lot of this stuff when you look deep into it. If the only time that we got oh shoot, we got something interesting going on. Oh, that's funny. Oh man, I was gonna say something. I'm not gonna do that.
Don't do
But
it's a family show.
Yo, it is. You sure?
I'm
Okay. Spearmint right. But you got to look deeper into it because it's all about situations, good fits, good coaching. And the moment that Alex Smith got good coaching, he had one good year before Harbaugh, and that's when North Turner was coaching him. And we all know North Turner is a genius when it comes to being an offensive coordinator. Not a good head coach, but he's a genius as a coordinator. So it's all about the situation you get in, and he got into a good situation. I like Cam because, for one, Cam, what people don't know about Cam, about 100 passes in his whole high school career, maybe. So the dude was the rawest of raw quarterbacks that you can, develop and recruit. Right. So I like Cam. Is he your Heisman frontrunner?
No, not at all. I still like Shador Sanders. Not so much as the Heisman in the quarterback conversation.
Oh, in the quarterback.
When it comes to the Heisman, it's Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
And that boy up there in Idaho.
Who's in Idaho?
Boise.
That dude was a 3-star out of high school.
All right.
3-star.
Hey. Justin Jefferson. Y'all saw my post the other day?
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson was a 2-star. The number one receiver in the NFL was a 2-star in high school. And
ran a 4.6.
Wow.
Ran a 4.6.
He's been consistent. And what you say, my caption to that was, the reason that 2-star is an NFL great right now was because the coaches gave him a chance.
Yeah.
They didn't tell that kid who had talent to come to their program and not work him into the game plan.
Yeah. He developed.
Too many coaches killing careers.
Yeah.
I think that happens more often than
more than it's supposed to. Yeah. That's why you got to do a lot of research in regards to your situation.
High school killer.
So let's play a PSA and come back. I believe our guest is here. Jenkins, we see you down there. So we're going to come back
fly to Phoenix
after
Phoenix.
We got the fly to Phoenix.
We're going to come back after these public service announcements, man. So be ready for us. This is the Farron Dozier Show. Sports Selective TV, Media, Radio is what you're listening to right now. Heem Factor and In the Zone. Shout us out, Wisconsin.
Some of us still carry the burden of battle. It threatens to drown us in our everyday lives. In battle, we had our weapons and combat gear to keep us safe, to keep us confident. But when we returned home, we were not armed with weapons and gear to cope with our own minds. I was lucky to find my combat gear, my mental weapon, and it's called Calmago. Calmago is a drug-free device that allows you to achieve calm in less than 3 minutes. In moments of anxiety, stress, anger, panic, or insomnia, not with medication, but rather by activating the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing regulation and multisensory stimulation. A recent study has shown that Calmago decreases PTSD and anxiety levels in veterans, helping those who are suffering and having a long-lasting effect. Visit Calmago.com to learn how you can get Calmago through the VA or with a special veterans discount code.
This is Farron from the Farron Dozier Show, 8 p.m. Pacific Time on KCAA Radio, 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also streaming from the KCAA Radio.com website, the station that leaves no listener behind, and MBR Radio. That's right, MBR Radio on all their streaming platforms, including MBR Radio on Roku TV, Sunday nights live, 8 p.m. Pacific Time on KCAA Radio and MBRradio.us. The Farron Dozier Show. For more information, search farrond.com. All right, welcome back to the Farron Dozier Show on KCA Radio. We got the Sports Selective TV Media Radio segment, In the Zone with Robert Lamar, the Heem Factor with Coach Will, and of course we're gonna do a little bit of fourth down.
Bang, Niner gang.
Is it over?
It's over.
It's over.
Cowboy K.
I don't want to leave.
Let's do this.
What time is this over?
This is what we do. I'm tired of just repeating this every year.
Oh, somebody help.
Mr. Phoenix.
Gang, Will.
Oh my God, Mr.
Niner
Phoenix.
Gang will take you with open arms.
Man.
Bang, Niner Gang.
You hear this, Mr. Phoenix? Do you hear what I'm dealing with? Do you hear
Yeah.
this? You hear what I'm dealing with, man? Unnecessary.
We got the flight of the Phoenix over here. What's going on, Phoenix?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. What about you, sir?
Good, man. Thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Of course.
All right.
Hey, he got like a Sam Perkins deep voice. Got like one of the deepest voice I've ever heard. Like a 16-year-old.
It's deeper than mine. Do us a favor, introduce yourself to the listeners, man.
My name is Phoenix Jenkins, and I attend Wausau High School, in which I play right tackle.
Right tackle. Who's going? You going in the zone or we going here? Let's go in the zone, Rob. Let's go in the zone, Rob.
Well, look, people have been talking about you for a long time, and when the first time when I saw you, I'm like, oh, what school is he gonna sign to? And they're like, oh, he's just a freshman. I said, what? That's the biggest freshman that I've ever seen. And you hear that a lot, I know.
Look at his face. He's like,
he
man,
knows.
what are you talking about? Look at his face. Look at his face. He's like, man.
I literally asked, where is he signing to? I was like, who's the favorite to sign? Oh, he's going to be here for another 4 years. Oh, my dang.
That's wild.
But a testament to him, you have to be really good to start at Los Al at his age. This guy, he's not going to say it, but I'll say it. He's one of the most desired linemen in the state. There's some programs that want this kid, but he's showing his allegiance to Los Al. So being thrown into the threshold early at Los Al, man, what did that mean to you, knowing that not everybody can be thrown into a starting position like that at an early age?
I mean, I definitely had to fight for it. It was not like my freshman year when I just walked in. I just got the start job. Coach Fed made me work for it, and now I'm starting.
That you did. Now, moving forward, you're a year older. How do you feel like compared to like your freshman year to like now? Where do you feel like physically and mentally?
I mean, my freshman year, so actually I had to gain like 40 pounds because I was undersized. And then I'm like, I go up to the varsity, like I was going to greet the coach and he said, "You're on varsity already." I was like, "What?" I played right guard and like a little bit in the 8th grade, and then I was like 240, so 250. So I had a gain. Wow. I got all the way to 290, and then my first day ever practicing, I had to go against this guy named Keegan Shake, a Cardinal State commit. I was getting my butt kicked. But then he got me better, and so my first game I was ready. Right. And then now I go against a really underrated defensive end, a guy named Jackson Rambo, and we go at it practice, gets better.
Wow. Woo. Like you said, it was a grind. You had to earn every bit of that. You know, now I feel like you got so much experience moving forward to the point where, you know, even though you're not like one of the oldest, you know, guys on your line, you absolutely have a veteran presence now. You know, how does that feel kind of being able to command like your teammates in regards to making sure that you're always going to be on top of your assignments and everyone else is as well?
Well, now since I have that year experience, I see the whole field differently. Like we were scouting for Western, and I just knew that it was a runner pass based off the tackle stance. So now it was against San Clemente, number 4. Every time he would look twice at the quarterback, and that's every time he would blitz. I just knew that, and I told the line that, and it helped us block.
Man,
IQ.
You know what? Like I've seen it. Like you're really. It's amazing how your mental aspect of the game is like practically where it needs to be at. And even like physically, I mean, the beautiful part about it is you're going to only get better. You still have time for that. That's scary. So, man, I just want to say, you know, we got to pass you around because I keep you all to myself. We got to get you into the hang factor, man. What's wrong, bro?
Phoenix. Salute, man. I told you it was going to be a big deal to have you on the show. So thank you. I thought it was important to bring light to you being, this big time player in California, transitioning, working into a different style program as far as the way the tempo is and the consistency, right? You had a crazy off season, right? And so here you are now. How has the experience been, with you fitting into the Los Al, right? And becoming, a Los Al player, right? Like you had to buy into the system, and that's not always an easy thing to do, right? Like you mentioned, previous, you walked in, you're the starter, you had to work a little bit harder. So how that experience been for you?
I mean, it's definitely number one, getting your coach's trust. Took me a while to get Coach Fenton's trust, all of it. And so I just been working my butt off since then. Ever since I've been to Cali, definitely helps not being 100 degrees though in California.
Right, no doubt. And what are some things that you're looking to accomplish? We're in week 10 right now. We're in a pretty good space as far as you to have an extended season. But, what are some of your goals, right? And have you met some of your previous goals or, exceeded some of your previous goals to this point?
Well, last year, I had someone do my allowed sacks, my allowed pressures last year. I had 3 allowed sacks and a couple pressures. This year, I have 1 sack allowed and only I think it's 6 pressures on the season.
Wow, that's huge.
That's crazy.
Is that crazy?
That's crazy.
That's another important reason why I felt like your presence was important on the deck, because we get to talk to the skill guys a whole lot, right? You know what I mean? But a dominant, offensive player like yourself, speaking like IQ, you can identify how it reads. You understand what your assignment is. You understand levels. So again, my last question to you is going to be, how do you look to impact the rest of the season going forward? And then I actually would like you to tell me what your dream school is.
So my dream school is probably Michigan. I'm from Michigan. My others would be USC and ASU.
Gotcha. For sure.
And then, I'm just working on trying to get low. I mean, when I get low, good things happen. Have 2 really talented running backs. They make my job a lot easier. They see a little hole, they're gone.
Yeah.
Also helps that we're as a whole offensive line, a quarterback, our running backs, our receivers, the whole team is very tight. So I don't know if you guys all watched the San Clemente game, but fourth quarter, O-line just took over the game, getting 5-6 yards a pop.
Yeah.
Ran the end zone. 2 minutes left on the clock. We drained it out and ran the ball almost the whole time.
Yeah.
So we're just a team, and we have a really close bond that I really didn't have last year with my O-line and my quarterback.
Well, you definitely have, earned a special reward, man, with the Heme Factor of the Week, because I definitely agree with you with the grit and grind and the takeover that you guys had for that last quarter of play, controlling the clock. And that was a big win for that group and a major win for you, because you were getting low, you were driving, and I saw you dig into, dig deep into your heart, and I could see you were really pushing for what you wanted to. So salute to you, and I'm gonna pass you over to my guy Farron.
Man, I think I heard everything, bro. Welcome, again, thanks for hanging out with us. Let's go to the family, man. Let's what do you want to say about your family, man? What do you want to talk about?
Man, just me and my mom. I'm trying to make it easier for her, trying to pay off my sister's college. That's the goal. I just want to make my family proud. That's just the goal.
Now, it's not selfish to have just some self goals. So what do you want for yourself out of this? You're talking about going to the next level, but what do you want out of it at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, I just want to have a tight team bond, because that's really all you can ask for. I can call my teammates for anything, and they always have my back. And I've never really had that in my life where I can call someone knowing that they can talk to me about anything.
Yeah.
That's huge.
You mentioned moms. Is Pops off limit? Or can we talk about Pops, or you got no?
Pops is off limit.
He's off limit. All right, appreciate that. So mental toughness. Looking back, this love for football. Where did that come from?
It came from young age. I was just playing basketball, and then the other team's dad said, "Man, you're too big to play basketball."
Wow, you're too big. That's crazy, right?
Got me playing the O-line. I actually played D-line in 8th grade, but then I just made the switch because they needed a left tackle. And so I just been grinding. Still a lot of things to learn. I still gotta get my knees low. Gotta get low, as Coach Will said against Edison.
Yeah.
I was watching the film, like at the sideline. I was like, "Damn, I'm sitting all the way up." I gotta bend my big old knees.
Yeah.
But it's still like his IQ game is there though.
Yeah. But it makes the game much easier for him. Right?
Yeah.
He has more control the lower he gets.
Cool. My segment's 4th down, man. So mentally, where did your mind go on 4th down?
My mind go. Usually, we're in a good spot. I just think about destroying the person in front of me, moving them out the way, make everyone's life easier. I was getting mad against San Clemente. We didn't have a really good first half. Got a serious 3-point stance, and then I just started going at it.
And who do you equate your mental toughness to? Your mom, your environment, your coaches? When you think about your mental toughness?
Definitely my coach, Coach Fenton. He's very hard on us. He gets us right every week. Also helps a lot that the whole coaching staff has a great game plan against whoever we play against. It makes life easier.
Yeah.
Like when we played San Clemente, we had a great game plan and we executed it very well.
Cool. Lastly, I'm an advocate for sickle cell trait and hydration. How important is hydration for you, man?
It's so important. Like myself, I'm 6'7", 310 pounds. I can't drink only a gallon.
Yeah.
I drink 1 gallon of regular water and then 1 gallon of liquid IV.
Yeah.
So
I'm
done. Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
I remember with this Phoenix. Tell them about summer, how hot it was. Talk about Florida to California and why you stayed in Cali.
I mean, it's unridiculously hot. Like there was a streak. I already been left, but it was like 113 days straight of 100 degrees.
Right.
And I believe in Arizona, it's dangerous to practice after school because it's so hot.
Yeah.
And even in the mornings, when it gets that past hour, it's already like 90 degrees, 85. It's pretty hot.
Yeah.
I was confused because I was practicing in Cali and we got to take off our pads for 87 degrees. I was like, what?
Yeah. That's why that was
Wait a minute, when did that start?
It was like 87 degrees.
We didn't have that.
Yeah.
He was like, cool.
Anything you want to say to your teammates, man, before we let you go?
Man, I just love my teammates. But I just feel like our bond is really special. I've never had this before.
Yeah.
That's dope.
We appreciate you for hanging out with us tonight, man. Definitely.
Thank you for having me on.
Last words, fellas, before we go.
Appreciate you. Playoff time, that means people got to get hurt. Remember when you pull it, got to the Cleveland cats, man. I look forward to it.
Thank you.
And continue to be a leader, continue to grind, continue to work, and continue to anchor that line, man. You're doing a phenomenal job and continue to be a great student athlete.
Yeah, we left off that part, student athlete. We appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, cool. All right. Yeah, no, thank you. All right, you tuned into Sports Collective TV, media, radio segment here. Shouts out to the crew. Excellent conversation with Mr. Phoenix, man. He said 6'7"?
6'7", 310.
6'7", 310.
Yeah, that's big, man.
So we've had 6'7", 310. We've had 6'9", Ash. we've had. I think we can make a sports collective media all line.
For real.
All right.
Yeah, we also had Champ Westbrook last year.
This is a Champ
All
Westbrook,
American.
Jeez.
Right?
Yeah.
So just think about this. We can have a sports collective media all line. We can talk our mess from behind there.
All right. Thanks for listening into the Farron Dozier Show, Sports Collective TV, Media, Radio, In the Zone, Heem Factor, Fourth Down. Make sure you catch us in November for some special episodes. All right.
Yes, sir.
Shout us out. What's the count?
Watch the playback.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.